A factory claims that the filling machine dispenses an average of 500 milliliters of liquid into each bottle. There is concern, which is the null hypothesis. There is concern that the machine is overfilling. A random samples of 12 bottles is selected, and the sample mean volume is 502 milliliters with a sample standard deviation of 8 ml. At 5% level of significance, test whether the machine is overfilling the bottles. So now we are going to write out our parameter and our hypothesis, which is assumed the alternate hypothesis and the null hypothesis. So we are going to start out first. We are going to write out our null hypothesis, which is basically mu is equal to 500 ml. So now we are asked to test whether it's underfilling or overfilling, which is the alternate hypothesis. The alternate hypothesis is basically the one that is the protagonist that is trying to go against what the null hypothesis is saying. So which is, they say it's overfilling. So it's going to be a greater than sign, 500 ml. So now we are going to be writing out all the parameters. They say X bar is 500, which is the sample mean, 502, sorry. And the mu, which is the mean, the population mean is 500. Our number of sample size is 12, and level of significance is 0.05. So now, from the previous video we watched, we are going to be comparing the T calculated value and the T critical value, and comparing whether it goes above or below. So now we are going to first find the T calculated value. Using the formula, T calculated is equal to X bar minus mu divided by S over root n. We should note that this is standard error. For standard error, a t-test standard error is represented with X, and this is the number of sample size. So now, we should also note that for a right-hand test, it usually gives a positive number. This upside, the numerator, it gives a positive number. But for a left-hand side, it gives a negative number. So that is what we should just keep in mind. So this is 502 minus 500 divided by X, which is I didn't try that. S is equals to 8 ml. So this is 8 over root n, which is 12. So now it gives us T calculated is equal to 0.87. We have gotten our T calculated value. Now we have to find our T critical value. It's best for us to represent it using a normal distribution to see our point clearly. This is our normal distribution. This is 0.0. So now we are going to divide this into the T critical point. For a right-hand test, we should also note that it goes towards the right. Noting that this is the reject region, and fail to reject region. So now any value that falls here is a reject, and any value that falls within this point is a fail to reject. So now we are going to find the T critical value, in which that any value that falls here, we are going to reject, and any value that falls below here, we are going to take the T calculated as the reference point. So now from our tables, these are the values that we are going to use to compare. The F is equals to n minus 1. So from our table, from our parameters, n is equals to 12 minus 1, which is 11. Then level of significance, which is 0.05. So from our table, we can also know that some of the values, you might be given a two-sided test table and might be given a one-sided test table. So if you have a two-sided test table, you are going to divide the value by 2 to get the value of one side. It's just basically dividing 2 by 1 to get the value that you want. So if you have a two-side, you divide it by 2 to get the value. So now from our table, we are going to compare 11 and 11 on the vertical column and y and this on the other column. So the value you're going to get is T critical is equal to 2.201. So now we are going to be looking at this 2.201. We're going to look, does this T calculated fall in the rejection zone or in the fail to reject zone? It fails to reject because it falls here. If this is 0, 1, 2, it's in this point between 0 to 1, so it's in the fail to reject. So now we are going to write our conclusion. With sufficient evidence at 5% level of significance, we have sufficient evidence to conclude that the machine is not overfilling. So we fail to reject. That is basically it. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.